called him racially charged names, and tonight he's talking about what happened only to NBC4. Good evening, everyone. I'm Carolyn Johnson. This all took place on Friday night at the end of February when he was on his way back to his dorm room. NBC4's Macy Jenkins is live in Irvine for us, where she spoke to him and has reaction from campus police and the university. Macy.
Hi, Carolyn. Well, that student is a fourth-year art history major. He says he had just left a cookout with several of his fellow black students here on campus when he says he was approached by 5 white teenagers on their e-bikes. He was attacked and assaulted, then called a monkey, and it was 2 days before the end of Black History Month. Now he says he wants the university to do something about it.
It was just a matter of just trying to make it safely and make it back to my dorm, and it was awful. It was horrible.
What was going through your mind?
That, number one, that these kids were trying to kill me.
A fourth-year UC Irvine student describes a harrowing ordeal around 8:30 p.m. after a February 27th cookout on the Arroyo Vista lawn with several of his fellow members of the Black Student Union. He asked we not share his name or show his face. At that point, you were having a good time. You were about to head home.
Yes.
That's when the art history major says he noticed 5 teens on e-bikes, 1 girl, 4 boys, who all happened to be white.
One of the other juveniles asking me an inappropriate question about one of the sorority girls that was there. I told him to leave me alone. That's inappropriate. So another one came up and said, "Hey, why are you so pressed?" Proceeded to call me a slur. It was the N-word, but soft A. I didn't respond to it. I just said, "Please leave me alone." And I made the decision to then head further up the road.
But he says the started chasing him.
They were close enough that they started spitting on me, trying to grab at me, doing all sorts of heinous things in between. I'm being called monkey, blackie, completely out of my name. Obviously, this is stuff I never expected to hear. He
was halfway home when one of the teens hit the accelerator and headed straight for him.
And says, what's good, you effing N-word. And in an attempt to clip me off the road, his tire not only hit the back of my scooter, but it hit my ankle. And at that point, it was the worst pain that I had felt in a very long time.
Eventually, he ducked into the Rosa Parks dorm for safety, called his friends and UCIPD, which he says arrived to de-escalate the situation.
I hear about this happening in so many other places, but for it to happen in Irvine is far beyond what I ever expected.
In a statement, the UCI chief of police confirms a hate crime investigation after multiple juveniles on e-bikes used racial slurs, spat, and hit the back leg of the reporting party with the tire of an e-bike. One of the teens was detained. The school says UC Irvine remains firmly committed to fostering a safe, inclusive, and respectful environment for all members of our community. But Black Student Union President Unique Shiro says UCI and UCIPD need to do more.
We demand that these 5 juveniles be charged, and the one that specifically clipped his ankle be charged with assault and battery, and that they take more precautions to protect the Black students here on this campus.
Skin abrasions and a medical boot now cover his right foot. As for those 5 teens on the bikes,
I want accountability to be had. They've had it in the back of their minds that, well, if I do this for as many times, I can get away with it.
Now, the students that we spoke to say they hope the parents of the kids on the bike do a better job of keeping an eye on what their children are doing at night. Anyone who has seen these kids on the e-bikes around campus is asked to reach out to UCIPD. Reporting live at UC Irvine tonight, Macy Jenkins, NBC4 News.
All right, Macy, thank you. And now the latest on the war in the Middle East and the FBI memo that talks about the possibility of drone attacks here in California made before the war began. But law enforcement say it's a matter of being prepared for all possibilities amid the ongoing strikes in Iran. NBC4's Robert Cavani is here now with tonight's developments. Robert.
That's exactly right, Carolyn. The Los Angeles Police Department and the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department state they're always monitoring global events. But as NBC4 Investigates has confirmed, there is no credible evidence of an imminent attack by Iran on California. Yes, there was an FBI bulletin issued to police departments up and down the state warning Iran could launch drones, but it was sent out in early February. That's well before the conflict began, and only as a precautionary measure. Even so, late tonight, it has the attention of President Trump.
The president tonight returning from Kentucky and Ohio, but with reports of Iran drone threats against California on his mind.
Investigated, but you have a lot of things happening, and all we can do is take them as they come.
While NBC4 Investigates has confirmed there are no specific threats to California, nothing being planned, the governor says the State Operations Bureau is on top of it.
Drone issues have been always top of mind, and we've assembled some work groups specifically around those concerns.
The president also talking oil, and he's tapping into the strategic oil reserve.
We're going to be doing it very quickly, and then we'll fill it up. We'll fill up our reserves.
Early this Thursday morning, the price of oil jumping back up over $100 a barrel as oil warfare intensifies. You can see the drone above the oil depot in Oman before it makes impact, as the Iranian regime unleashes new attacks on ships in the Strait of Hormuz, including this Thai cargo vessel. Iran vowing to drive oil prices up to $200 a barrel by stopping tankers from using the strait. The president recently warning the Iranian regime against blocking the Strait of Hormuz, just 20 nautical miles wide at its narrowest point. It's a critical corridor for more than 20% of the world's oil. And as Operation Epic Fury continues with the death toll rising in Iran, an estimated 1,300 civilians killed so far. Financial toll climbing as well. The Pentagon estimating the first 6 days of the attacks on Iran costing more than $11.3 billion.
The main thing is we have to win this thing, win it quickly, but win it. And there are many people, I'm just watching some of the news, most people say it's already been won. It's just a question of when. When do we stop? We don't want to let it regrow. And ideally, would like to see somebody in there that knows what they're doing. In other words, they can build a country.
NBC4 News also following a World Cup shakeup as Iran says it's yanking its soccer team from playing in the tournament set to be held here in North America this summer. Iran's sports minister saying today, quote, considering that this corrupt regime has assassinated our leader, under no circumstances can we participate in the World Cup. One of Iran's matches was to be played right here in L.A. at SoFi. There is no timeline for FIFA to approve the withdrawal, and keep in mind there's always a possibility that things could change if this conflict comes to an end. I'm Robert Kovacic. Carolyn?
Right, Robert, thank you. New tonight in Pico, Robertson, a driver's in the hospital after crashing through the front of this 7-Eleven. You can see the damage to the store on La Cienega Boulevard near Pico. We've learned the driver did not need to be extracted from the car by first responders, but was taken to the hospital to be checked out. It's unclear at this point what caused the driver to slam into the store. Let's take you outside right now. A live look from our camera at the Port of Los Angeles. Meteorologist David is here with a check of our very first forecast. David.
Yeah, and Carolyn, temperatures across the region got up into the 80s. Tomorrow we're looking at the 90s across much of Southern California, almost extending out to some of our coastal cities. We do have a heat advisory that goes into effect 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Will carry us all the way through Friday evening. This is because we're looking at temperatures 15 to 30 degrees above average for this time of year. And that's giving a moderate to high risk of heat-related illnesses across the region. So for tomorrow and for Friday, most areas will be under moderate risk of heat-related illnesses. That means that those who are sensitive to the heat and exposed to the heat without any access to air conditioning or hydration would likely be susceptible to developing some heat-related illnesses. That would include Basin, Inland Orange County, the valleys, and the Inland Empire. But we do have a few locations that are under high risk, meaning that anybody exposed to the heat without access to cooling or hydration would potentially get heat-related illnesses, and that includes Moore Park, Thousand Oaks, the Crescenta Valley, and the Santa Monica Mountains. Now, coming up in a couple of minutes, we're going to talk about not only how hot it's going to be during the day, but how warm it'll be during the evening. I'll have the latest on that in just a minute. Back to you, Carolyn.
All right, we'll see you then, David. New tonight at 11, copper wire thefts have left some streets in Long Beach in the dark. In fact, entire neighborhoods don't have lights to illuminate roads and sidewalks, making people there feel unsafe. NBC4 Starsha Phillips is live in Long Beach for us with more on the problem and the city's efforts to repair the lights. Starsha.
Yeah, Carolyn, we are here on Coronado and 2nd Street in Long Beach. We have our camera lights on, but these streets are dark. We have seen some of these lights very dim, and then we also have seen some of these street lights completely out. And as you mentioned, many people who live here in Long Beach say these dark streets are making them feel unsafe. This street near Redondo and 2nd in Long Beach is plunged into darkness after the sun goes down. The street lights out or dimmed, making it difficult to see people crossing the street just feet away.
There are a lot of stop signs around, and so it's difficult to be seen in the dark. So you never know if a car is going to stop or not, and so that is probably one of the biggest danger points for me.
Others, like Morgan Smith, says her stroll alone a few days ago was anything but relaxing because of the unlit streets.
I didn't feel safe. I was constantly looking over my shoulder, but I am always nervous. So I wish that the streets were more lit up for sure.
People who live in Long Beach say dark streets have been a problem for years, and they say because of this, they feel less safe, feel that there's